Hey Dylan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Doc?
Very well, and I'm super excited.
Good.
Yeah, I'm looking at your debit card. I see you completed the whole thing. That,
Yeah, I did.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, there was some little hiccups in the week, but I did it. I wasn't gonna do it at first, but I decided to just finish it out.
Yeah, before we talk about the hiccups, I'm just super excited that you did it. Can you tell me what was it about this week that made you do the homework and complete the whole data card?
Well, I've been coming here, as you know, I've been working with you now for about a month or so, and I'm seeing I'm getting better at some of the things that brought me in here, but I've also been like, I feel there's other important things to do, like be on social media, Facebook and Reddit and BuzzFeed. But I was like, let me just try a little bit harder at this. So that's why I wanted to do it.
That's interesting. And how do you feel about yourself being able to make that connection between social media and then your homework? How do you feel about it?
I was annoyed that I had to do the diary card, but my mom, she's kind of an asshole, and she kind of made me do this. But she was like, if you don't do it, you're not going to be able to. If you don't do your diary cards, you're not going to be able to stay on BuzzFeed and the chats that I go to. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I was going to do it anyway, so I decided to do it.
But after you did it, did you feel any sense of pride in what you achieved?
I would say that I felt okay. I felt good that it was done.
That's good.
I felt that I'd come in here and we wouldn't have to you wouldn't have to make me do the diary card like you did last week because I didn't do it. So because that was super annoying. So I did it.
Okay, would that mean that you use your coping ahead skills?
Yes, if you would say so.
Awesome.
Yes.
See, the skills that come in handy every day. Now, looking at okay, do you mind if we take a detailed look at the diary card?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, I see Monday and I see Tuesday. Oh, you went out Wednesday, you went to dinner, you talked to friends Thursday, and Friday, I see you had
Friday was a bad day for me.
yeah, I see that. Can you, there was calling on Friday.
Yeah.
Can you describe to me what happened?
Sure. So as you know, I'm trans, and we've talked about it, and you've been very supportive, so thank you. As you know, you've encouraged me to basically reach out, so I have, and I've been talking to this girl, Susie, for about a month or so, and it's been going rather well online. And I'm finishing up my sophomore year, and so I got 2 more years. So her and I were just talking about what life's gonna be like once we leave high school. And she told me she liked me over the weekend. So I was like really excited. Like last week, she told me that, and I really like her. So then I told her about my plans, how I'm going to transition, and then she told me that even she was really happy for me. She was super excited. She said it was great. But then she said, well, I can't be with a woman. So I was so pissed off. I just ended the chat, just clicked everything out. And I was just like so worked up because I'm like, here it is again. Like, I like someone, I put myself out there, and then it just all was like rushing, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't care. I just didn't want to feel what I felt. So I went back to what I know that lets me not feel what I don't want to feel, and I cut myself a few times.
Okay.
But nothing serious, like not on the wrist, just in the safe spots. So that was good, like on my thigh, but not like I wasn't going to the wrist or my neck. Like I just wanted to not feel that.
Okay. Is it okay for you if I write things down so that the two of us can at least see the progression? Because I'm trying to get the two of us to see what's happening. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, you want to talk about my cutting on the board?
No, we're not talking about it on the board. I want to put down things on the board so you can see it and I can see it too.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's about the cutting or not about the cutting?
Yeah, about the cutting.
Oh yeah, we can put it on the board.
Yeah, I'm more of a visual kind of person.
That's fine.
So if I can see it,
I trust you. We've been doing this for a while.
Awesome. So let's talk about this. Can you tell me a little bit more about what was going on with you at the time of this cutting? What
I was just so hurt and just very frustrated because here was a person that I felt that I had a real connection that could have been my soulmate, my soulmate. Her and I talked about so many things. We talked for hours on end until like 5 or 6 in the morning. And then when I told her this, and she like knew already. Like she was, like I met her in a trans support chat group. Like she obviously knew like what the deal is.
Okay.
So like when she said that, I just was like so angry that I put my time and effort into developing this relationship with this person who I felt just didn't care.
Okay. So before we go back to the relationship, let me ask you a little bit more about the cutting.
So you do want to talk about cutting?
I do want to talk about
Okay.
it. Yes. And I'm hoping you also do want to talk about the cutting.
I do.
Okay.
I do. It helps.
So can you tell me, do you think there's anything? We'll talk about Susie afterwards.
Okay.
But for now, let's talk about you. After that, we can talk about Susie.
Okay.
Right? So do you think there was anything about you, your environment, what was going on around you before the cutting that made you more vulnerable to cut?
Well, I was definitely talking about like my dreams and like what I would like my life to look like with Susie. And then like I felt very open. And then when she said what she said, I felt very rejected. I felt like she just like didn't want to be a part of my life or like be a part of the true me, which really annoys me because she always talks about being true to yourself.
She talks about being true to yourself.
Yeah, herself, myself, everyone being true to who they are as a point of being happy. So I'm like, oh, well, here's how I want to be. Here's what I want my life to look like. And then she's like, oh, I don't want that. Well, like, fuck you. How can you say that?
Okay. Now let me ask again, back to the cutting. Before the cutting, say an hour prior, can you describe to me what was going on for you?
I was feeling good. I was talking to Susie, I was eating, I was having some like juice, I was watching TV. I think I was watching Stranger Things on Netflix. Have you seen Stranger Things?
I have not.
You were missing out.
Interesting. I will try it.
It's a good show.
Now, when I asked you to describe, can you describe for me any emotions that was going on? Not events that was happening. Emotions.
I was feeling happy. I guess.
Was feeling happy prior to the cutting.
Yeah, I was feeling happy.
Okay. And any other emotions? Any other emotions?
I was okay with everything.
So you're saying that feeling happy is what led you to cut? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was happy. When Susie said she didn't want to be with me, I no longer felt happy.
Okay.
And I felt like just a rush of anger and just
Anger. Any other?
like sad anger, like like you're
Sad
angry.
anger.
Yeah, like you're sad, but you're also angry at the same time.
Okay.
Like you're upset.
Upset, sad,
Yeah,
angry.
yeah.
Now, can you describe for me how often do you get angry in a day?
Well, the diary card indicated that not as much as I thought I would, but sometimes maybe once or twice in a day.
So you're saying you get angry a lot?
I guess if you consider twice a day. Doesn't all adults get angry twice a day? You don't get angry twice a day? I'm just saying.
We're not. Well, at another time we can talk about whether I get angry or not.
Okay.
For today,
I get angry about
I think
twice a
our
day.
plan is to focus on the cutting,
Okay.
and if we can find out what emotions you were going through at that time, maybe it could be helpful to understand what really happened here.
Okay.
So you was feeling angry, sad, upset,
Mm-hmm.
but before all of this, you was feeling happy.
Yes.
Now, is there any other thing that was going through your mind? What were you thinking? Now, I'm not asking for emotions. Now, I'm saying what thoughts were you having prior to the cutting, like immediately before the cutting?
Like after Susie said she didn't want to be with me?
Yes. What thoughts were going on?
my mind was racing to feeling that I'll never be loved. I'm gonna be alone. That something like this always happens to me.
Okay.
Like I'm always putting myself out there, and then I'm getting rejected.
You're always putting yourself out there?
Yeah, online at least, not in real life. Who talks to people in real life? Those psychos do. I talk to people on the internet, like normal people do now, like Tinder.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying there are cycles in real life, but there are no cycles online?
I mean, there probably are. I don't know. I saw the Chris Hansen things a lot. Did you ever watch those, To Catch a Predator?
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Oh, okay.
But let me go. Do you mind if I go back to the calling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you said before the calling you was feeling, you was having thoughts about being unloved.
Unloved
Having
and
thoughts
alone.
that bad things always happen to you.
Yes, bad things always
So
happen.
do you think there's anything about you or your environment that makes these thoughts to come to you as often as they do?
I mean, I guess people have told me in the past that that I like rush things. I don't know what that means, but I guess I mean, I'm a passionate person. So I like to let my passion show. But I guess that could also then, if you do that, that can also be problematic if I rush things.
Okay. So you're describing that you feel unlovable.
Yes.
Now, is to you is it the same? Is unlovable the same thing as unloved, or are they different?
Isn't that the same thing?
I'm asking.
I feel
what's
like
your
it is,
definition?
right?
So you're thinking unlovable is the same as unloved?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm unlovable, no one's loving me.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure of what you're thinking. Now, did it when Susie said she didn't want to be with you anymore? How did that make you feel?
I was just really hurt and really upset and felt rejected.
Okay.
Like this is just gonna be something that's gonna happen my whole life. Like, so I mean.
Okay. So let me ask you one more time. During when Susie said she didn't want to be with you again. Now, you've been doing DBT for about a year now. Was there any time that any of the DBT skills came to your mind?
The one thing I was thinking about doing was that urge surfing thing where I was gonna let it like linger and then maybe it'll go away. But instead I just ran to the bathroom and just went at it because I didn't wanna wait for it to go away. I waited like 2 minutes and it still felt the same. And I'm like, okay, I need something to like distract me from this.
Okay, so can you describe for me, can you recall anything about the skills that made it difficult for you to remember and use them at the moment?
Well, when I'm like really worked up, it's hard to be like, oh, breathe. Like that's like who does that? So like I'm aware of them, but like it's different when you're in the feeling of it. Like I tried the urge surfing thing. I sat for 2 minutes thinking it might go away, and it didn't. So then I did what I knew works, and then it worked. However, I had to go to the hospital, and my mom was annoyed. I didn't get to be on the internet.
Now, before we get to what happened after the calling, let's just see if we can describe the calling a little.
You're asking a lot about the cutting.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you want to talk about the calling?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we do agree on that. Now I can assure you we will get
Do you
to
want
what
to see the
happens.
outlines?
No, I don't need to
Oh,
see.
okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
Are you in pain right now?
No, I'm okay.
So,
We're healed.
okay. So let's go back to the calling. Now, going back to the skills also, can you think of anything that stood in the way of using these skills besides being overwhelmed, like you're saying? Was there
No,
anything
that
else?
was really it. Like I tried to wait it out, like we talked about in the urge surfing, to know it'll pass, But like it felt so intense. I didn't know what else to do.
So Now, let's go to immediately after the cutting. Can you describe for me any emotions that was going on?
I felt, I felt, I felt okay. I felt like I wasn't in that pain. I was in a new pain because it still hurts. Have you ever cut yourself? It hurts.
No, I haven't.
Nah, but it's not. It's a different type of release, but it still hurts.
So you're saying, I'm not asking for the pain. Okay, I'm saying emotions. Any emotions?
I felt distracted.
Distracted?
I don't know if that's an emotion or not.
It's, but distracted from
I felt
what?
calm because I wasn't concerned about Susie. I was now worried about the fact that I'm bleeding from my thigh.
Okay. So are you saying you are the kind of person who would rather experience physical pain than experience emotional pain?
Yeah, because I know what to expect from physical pain. Like physical pain is always the same. Like when I cut, I always get the same response.
Okay. And when you were rejected by Susie,
It fucking hurt.
it
Like,
did?
yeah.
And it's a different kind of hurt from...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have you ever had a divorce? Have you ever been in love? It doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, it sucks.
Let's talk about me another day. For now,
Okay.
let's see if we can focus on the cutting. Okay. Now, can you tell me what was going on in your mind? What were you thinking? What were some thoughts that were going on after the cutting, immediately after?
I felt that Susie now knows that this is her fault. I felt relief because I was able to show her what she did to me. And I was able to feel like, okay, like now I'm not thinking so much about Susie because now I'm bleeding a lot.
Okay.
And then I had to deal with my mom, and you know how she can get, you've met her, she's a psycho. She started screaming like, why are you doing that? And you know, then I had to go to the hospital, so then I basically was surrounded by people for the rest of the day, so I didn't even have to think of Susie.
Okay. So, now, do you mind if I review a little bit of what we
Sure.
down? So, from what you have told me, you said you was happy speaking with Susie,
Yes.
and then you told Susie something that is deeply personal to you.
My plans to transition, yes.
And she did not receive it the way you would have hoped that she would receive it.
Correct.
And from there, you felt rejected
Yes.
by Susie.
Yes.
And that from the rejection, do you see what happened next? We looked at some of the factors that made you vulnerable to rejection.
Yes.
And some of them was, can you recall, can you see it? Can you tell me? What do you see as some of the factors that made you vulnerable to being rejected by Susie?
That it always happens to me, that I'm unlovable, that I don't, you know that I don't like myself sometimes. So I feel like,
You have told me I don't know.
so I don't like myself, so I'm unlovable. We just talked about it. So the fact that I finally felt because I feel unlovable, that I finally felt loved, but then it always happens when like I put myself out there, it becomes this giant clusterfuck, and it doesn't work out.
Okay, and from there, it leads to feelings of being overwhelmed.
Yes.
And from there, it leads to an attempt to use earth surfing, which,
Yes.
From what you're describing.
Yeah, I tried to
was
wait it
not-
out. It did not work.
Okay, and after that, it led to cutting.
Yes, because that works.
And immediately after cutting, can you see the feelings that you had? You said you had a feeling of relief.
Yep.
Any other feelings that you had?
I felt that Susie knew it was her fault that this happened. I felt that people were paying attention to me, like my mom, even though she's a psycho. She, went to the hospital, and I was able to not think about Susie because I had all the other things going on.
Okay.
So you could say I was distracted, or like something else was taking my mind, but it wasn't Susie.
Okay. Now let's talk about something you brought up earlier. The things that happened after the cut, some of the
Yeah.
consequences of the cut. Can you can you,
Yeah, I went
can you
to the
tell me what happened after you cut?
Well, first it was fine because I went to the hospital and people at the hospital are cool, they have good food. And then my mom took away my social media for like a week or two, per our contract for safety and agreements we've had through DBT. So that wasn't cool. So at first I felt good, but then I came home and I lost all the things I normally use anyway. I couldn't be online.
Do you see that we've had a very wonderful time looking at?
Well, I wouldn't say it's wonderful to spend time with you.
I mean,
but would
the
say that
progression of what happened from here to you ending up in the hospital.
Yeah, I can see how this works. Like, it's not in my best interest to always go to the hospital because my mom's going to take away my stuff from the video games.
So I'm going to thank you so much for being very open with discussing this. And
Thanks, Doc.
we will continue to work on it the next time we meet. Is that a good plan?
Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Dylan.